Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Oh, I'm saying happy Friday, Lord. Happy Thursday. Happy Friday's Eve. See, it's the end of the week and I'm already messing up what I'm saying. How is everyone this evening? Welcome to Travel Talk Live. I am Tabitha Washington, owner and founder of the Travel Crew, where we create phenomenal travel experiences for phenomenal people. And it's Travel Talk Live. It's another Thursday evening, or Friday's Eve, as I've been calling it. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is okay. Um, as always, I'm so glad to hear from you. Please go ahead and let me know how you're doing. Type a hello in the comments. Let me know that you're out there. I know you can tune in to us from three different spots, and I'm so glad you did. You may be tuning in from our Facebook live page, which is I'm sorry, our Facebook page, our business page, the Travel Crew, or you may be tuning in from YouTube. Still growing, so we would love your support with YouTube. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, or you may be tuning in from our Facebook group, Travel Talk. And as I repeat every week, go ahead. You'll see if you're tuning in from the Facebook group, you'll see on the post where I'm broadcasting from. There's a spot for you to register your name. You only have to do it one time. Like if you did it this week, you wouldn't have to do it next week. And what that does is it lets me see who's talking to me, because I know sometimes y'all are making comments and all I see is Facebook users, so I don't get to see who's actually speaking to me, and I want to see who's talking to me. And if you still just don't want to do that, just go ahead when you make your comment. If you're in the group, let me know who made the comment. It just helps me out. But maybe you want to be anonymous and stuff, and then that's the case, just go ahead and remain a mystery. Oh, I'm so glad. Let's see. I do see people tuning in. Thank you again. My screen's off to the side. So again, if you're just tuning in, Tabitha Washington, founder and owner of the Travel Crew, and tonight we're going to talk about travel etiquette, y'all. Also, tune in because towards the end of it, I got some interesting news. Sorry, I'm fixing my top and stuff all on camera. Should have taken care of that before. Anyway, so what brought this on is, you're hearing about all these stories. I mean, we know travel is a beast this summer. Everybody's hearing about the cancellations and all this stuff and luggage, and I know it's a lot going on. I get it and stuff, but we've been hearing about reactions, and even before that, just through the whole through the pandemic, people were like losing their minds on these planes and stuff. And there's just a way, guys, that we need to act. We need to be respectful of like the airline flight attendants and stuff, because they go through a lot. Just thinking of things like that. But I especially wanted to touch on thinking about what you do when you travel to another country. One of the things with the Travel Crew is I really want to see more of us get out there and see the world. And I think one of the beautiful things, or one of the things I love most about traveling, is seeing how like where I live compares to where I'm visiting. And that is to appreciate the differences, but as well see some of the similarities. That's kind of cool too. But I think sometimes some people maybe get caught up and don't think about, when you're visiting somewhere else, people don't necessarily think the way you do. Not because there's anything wrong with it, just because, it's a different setting. So I just want to, touch on that, because I want y'all to travel more. I want y'all to come with me and travel more. And I'm just trying to make sure that, you're prepared and you're going to do it the right way. So that's what we're going to get into tonight. If you're just tuning in, I see more people tuning in. I'm so glad. Thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and just tell me a little hello in the comment section. I'm Tabitha Washington, for those that are just tuning in, owner and founder of the Travel Crew. And tonight we're talking about travel etiquette. If you have any questions or you have any comments, please go ahead and drop them in the comment section while I'm talking, and I will address them. So let's get started. My first tip is to learn as much as you can about the place that you're traveling to. And by that I mean like read up on some customs, maybe the history, hot spots, best foods or whatever. Why not? Information is available to us, so easily at just the press of a button, on your phone, your laptop, your tablet, whatever. Shoot, now you don't even have to do that. You can just ask Siri or Alexa to give you some points. Back in the day, you used to have to go get a travel guide or some brochures or something like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying you don't have that limiting you. So it's a good thing. Definitely do that so you know what you're getting into, so what you're about to step into, particularly if you go into a foreign country. You can even do it if you go into a different state. But traveling across the United States, there's some differences state to state, but for the most part, you know how the United States rolls. You don't necessarily know how it goes down in another country, and it would be good. Or you see something and you don't know why, it happens like that. Like people that come here to New Orleans, they don't know why we call a median a neutral ground. But there's a history behind that. That kind of thing. It's kind of cool to figure out what those tips are and everything. I'm just looking at the comments. Hey, Mary. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. All right, guys. Again, like I was saying, if you have something that you like to do, as far as learning more about the place that you're traveling to, let me know. Me personally, I may Google stuff. I still like book like guidebooks or destination guides, but you can get them digital now. So you can just look one up. And I know I've said this before, and people laugh at me. I do use the library because you can pull the library onto your tablet now. Um, so they have all the destination guys there. So I do like to research about where I'm going. I like to research before I offer the trip up to you. I want to know. I look at history and good spots and stuff like that. So if you have some other ways that you go ahead and what you like to do before you hit up a destination, let me know. It'll be great. Um, Mary, if you're still out there, you may have a message. That's just a little something. Let's see who else. Hey, Trudy, thank you for joining in. Okay, so that was the first tip. Learn as much as you can about the place that you're traveling to. The next tip, and this is the one, if I step on toes, you'll be all right. But this one is very important, and it probably irks me the most. Number two, remember that you are a visitor. Okay, so it's time to get real, and let me say this. I love where I live. I love being a citizen of the United States, but some of y'all need to come up off of that American audacity. That's what I call it. I call it American audacity. There is nothing wrong with feeling that you live in the best country in the world. There's nothing wrong at all. But know that whatever goes down in the United States is not what goes down in other countries. Your rights as a citizen of the United States of America do not apply in other countries. I get so tired of hearing people demanding their U.S. rights in other countries. They don't care about that because it's their country. It's the same equivalent as somebody from another country came here and was demanding their rights. You would look at them like they're crazy. But for some reason, people always want to associate what they get here there. It's just not the same. And I call it American audacity. I'm talking about I have seen people and I've seen this more than once in other countries, people not wanting to change their currency because they felt that the US dollar was more than the country's currency. So why and had told them you should be happy I'm giving this to you. That is so disrespectful. Because let me say this, even if it is more, and in one of the countries it actually wasn't. I had to tell people, I'm like, you actually shortchanging them because that particular currency is worth more than the US dollar. Um, it doesn't matter if it is worth more. If that vendor, retailer, restaurant, or whatever is charging you in that currency, pay in that currency. because what you're doing, even if you throw them a US dollar, they still got to go to the bank and exchange it and all that stuff. And there may be a fee. You're being disrespectful. You would not want anybody to come over here and pay you with a peso, uh, a euro, or something like that. So why would you go to another country? That annoys me, and I have seen it done more than once and stuff. Get off your American audacity. You are a visitor in another country. Um, it it's just weird. And I know another example is recently in Dubai. Now the lines were crazy. It was ridiculous and stuff, and people were getting irritated, and the way they were handling things, they needed to expedite some people onto a plane. And so they called out people like, if you're flying to LA, please come this way. I was one of those people. And this guy from the US gets pissed. He's yelling and he's getting all loud about what he's going to do. But you're in Dubai. They don't roll like that in Dubai. And all of a sudden, this big, huge plainclothes cop comes out of nowhere. And he was just like, we got a problem. And the guy was scared. He didn't know what to do because he didn't see it coming because he's so used to doing his American thing. But Dubai don't play that. And that's what I'm saying. Remember that you are a visitor. And those inalienable rights that we've been taught about don't exist when you go to these other countries. So that's my biggest gripe. Get off of that American audacity. So if I touched on some feelings, if you're in your feelings or I stepped on your toes or something like that, let me know. If you disagree with that, let me know. If you agree, I would love to hear it because that's just one of mine. That's probably one of my major peeves, and that's what I've labeled it. American audacity. That's somebody. I don't think anybody else has used that term before, but that's something I call it. So that's the one. Number two, get off. I'm sorry. Remember you're a visitor, but yeah, get off that American audacity. Somebody said that's good information. Thank you. It's good. The best information ain't always gonna make you feel good, but it is gonna make you think. And so that's what I want you to do. So especially if y'all are coming on a trip with me, don't do that. Okay. I've given you plenty of tips on how to exchange money, how to calculate it and stuff. We are going to be a visitor. Come off that high. Don't go in there. You can be proud to be an American all you want. I have nothing wrong with that. But just remember that you are not on American soil. You are a visitor. And just how you would want somebody from another country to respect that they have stepped into our country, you owe them the same. All right. That was tip number two. Let me get off my soapbox now. All right. So we moving on to reason number three. There are rules for a reason. Learn them. Again, we don't. You don't know what the rules may be. Therefore, that's why you can refer to step number one where you do a little research about where you're going. There's a reason they have those rules. It's not our place to question them. You just accept them. I mean, I'm not talking about stuff that's violating you as a person, but just simple rules and stuff. Go ahead and respect them. Tip number four, and I said this, I know you guys have heard me say this plenty of times. Learn some of the lingo and language. Um, and that can include like where it's okay to shake hands or to kiss. Not everybody, not every culture, it's like you're supposed to shake hands or there's a way to shake hands or when you shake hands, how you greet somebody. Certain things can be considered offensive. And it's not that you meant it, it's just that's that culture. It doesn't take that much effort to go ahead and just learn how that may apply to where you're going. Also, learning just a few key phrases is just considered a sign of respect. And you'll find that a lot of times your local vendors and shop owners and stuff like that are going to be like just a little bit more patient with you with helping you out with stuff because you took the time to learn how to greet properly or how to say thank you, goodbye, and stuff. I'm not saying that you need to be bilingual to go visit the country, but you should, take the effort just to say a few things that to let them know that you're trying and that you appreciate that. So that's the thing. Tip number four. I see more people. Oh, more people coming in. Thank you so much for joining. If you didn't know, I'm Tabitha with the Travel Crew, and tonight we're talking about travel etiquette. So come on in, tune in, and as always, if you got comments or questions, put them in the comment section, and I'll read them out. Alrighty, moving on. We're on tip number 5. Be mindful when taking selfies. So I know selfies are everywhere, but that's another thing you have to consider when you're in other countries. You may be getting like a shot of something that's considered sacred and that shouldn't be photographed. Some countries, it may be considered very rude or inconsiderate to get people in your shot. I can tell you from experience, when I was in Dubai, I was at the airport, and it was just a beautiful sculpture that I saw in the airport. So I snapped a picture of it. I was snapping a picture of it. But if you looked at me, it looked like I was trying to take a picture of one of their like guards or something like that, and I wasn't. And they actually walked up to me and said, "Put your camera, put your camera away." So you actually can't even snap a picture in Dubai's airport. That's just a little tip and stuff. So that's nothing that you would come across a problem here, because in the United States we're gonna check in like check my bag, going to TSA, like you get through and then you're sitting waiting for at the gate, you'll take another picture waiting at the gate, and then when you get on the plane, you're like, and you see, I mean, we'll chronicle the whole thing, and that's not the case there. So that's what I'm saying, be mindful of it. So really be mindful of taking selfies, and believe it or not, in some spots selfie sticks are not even welcome or accepted and stuff. In certain, maybe you're going to a museum or a religious building, something like that. So keep that in mind. Be mindful when taking selfies. All right, moving on to step 6. Mind your manners in restaurants. So I lied. I'm getting back on my soapbox. Um, I got off for the American audacity. I'm getting back on. This is not as big, but okay. I'm gonna say this: mind your manners in restaurants. Um, Food is not going to taste like your mama's. It just is what it is. Let it go. It just isn't. So I don't even know why you go into another country expecting the food to taste the same. It's not. Even the fast food chains that you are familiar with here, it's gonna taste a little different and stuff. And it's okay. It's just that there are palate differences. There might be a lot of food that you just don't like, but it's okay because everybody in that country likes it. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Like a lot of people that come to United States from other countries think our food is way too salty and it's just too much for them, and so they don't like it. Whereas we may go to another country and think the food is way too bland. That's fine that you think that, but you don't have to like have a fit about it or something. You just accept it and move on with your life. That's the way I see it. And so I've seen people who automatically, oh, that's nasty, and they get loud about it, and you're like, why are y'all doing this? I've been in spots in foreign countries where maybe uh like they said it in front of the cooks and stuff. Whereas opposed, you could just simply have not finished it and ate, what you liked and stuff. So I just think it's really disrespectful, because sometimes it's not that the food is like horribly cooked or anything like that. It's just simply that there's a different palate taste where you're visiting, and some things that are considered a delicacy there we're not as privy to, just like there are people who just hate some of the foods we eat. And here's a tip, just some other things that I've seen, and I want to let you know. You ready for this? Because this is important. So listen, I really hope you're listening. Is everybody listening? Okay. Ranch dressing is not global. I may need to repeat this again. Ranch dressing is not global. Stop tripping when you're in another country and a restaurant does not have ranch dressing. It's just not a global thing. You and you gonna be all right. In some places, it's oil and vinegar. I have gone where the choices were like oil and vinegar, a vinaigrette, and ginger or something like that. It depends on where you travel. But do not. I have seen people like just be so offended because the restaurant didn't have ranch dressing. It's not global. You will live. There was a time, I know I remember it, and I'm in my 40s, so there are other people that remember it. There was a time where ranch dressing wasn't even a thing in stores. If you had ranch dressing, it's because your mama had them little packs. The Hidden Valley Ranch used to make the homemade dressing, and that stuff was not even bottled. So you got by before ranch dressing came out. You'll get by while you're traveling without some. So let it go, y'all. It's not universal. It's not global. And I just think it's funny. Some of y'all just get a little too crazy with the ranch dressing. Let's see. Mary says she carries Tony Sassery packets with me when I travel. It's a great help. Okay, Mary, where do you get the packets from? Because I didn't even know he's made packets. Drop that in there. Okay. But that is a good tip though. That's a good one. If you and because food is bland. I'll go ahead, I'm gonna give a tip. For my people going to South Africa, and Mary's one of those people, the food is blander. It really is. It's just it's a blander. It's not that it's so bland, it's just they don't put as much salt as we do. Simple as that. It's just not as much salt. And so you may feel like you need some. So that's a good tip. Mary says she got them from the Osner Hospital Cafe. Mary, you jack them or they sell them? I'm just wondering. I'm just asking. um, but that's something to consider. Also, some things. This I actually saw somebody. I don't know where they're from. I'm pretty sure they weren't from the United States, but I was staying somewhere and somebody actually dipped their finger in the soup. It was like a buffet style. And I was like, oh no, 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 no. I don't think any of y'all would do that, but just in case. Um, Another thing, since we're talking about minding your manners in restaurants, just something that you may need to consider also is tipping. In some countries, and this is why you should research, tipping is considered offensive. That they don't tip because that's just not what they do, or the tipping is worked into the price and stuff, and so that their waiters are making a reasonable wage that tipping is not needed. There are other places where tipping is a common practice, but you tip differently. You may have to tip the person that brings you your wine. The host is expects a tip. The person that brought you food. So you really just need to know what the custom is, and that's why a little research ain't never hurt nobody. Okay, so all right, Mary, I'm gonna have to reach out to you. Look at that, Tony Sassery packets. You learn something new every day. Trudy's laughing at me. So, what do y'all have? Do y'all have some food tips or whatever? I hope I I've given you something to think about. That just respect the other culture, respect the other food, and stop wanting ranch dressing for everything. And I mean, come on, let's think about food that's part of our culture, or even just where we live. I'm not a chitlin person, but there's some people that swear by chitlins and stuff. It just that's a preference or something. Not everybody is going to come here to New Orleans and understand what well, jambalaya has history. I don't know. I mean, we eat all kind of interesting things here and stuff, and not everybody is going to get it. But we expect when you visit New Orleans to at least respect all the traditions. Like why people eating red beans on a Monday and stuff. That kind of thing. That doesn't exist everywhere else. But that doesn't mean that it's something wrong. It's just unique to New Orleans. And so just like we want people to respect the culture, the food history, and everything here, that's all you got to do. When you go somewhere else, just respect how it is. Just observe, learn, either like it, love it, leave it. It's part of the experience. So Mary's asking me, will I give us a list to address these tips for our South Africa trip? I surely will. Actually, you should have started receiving some emails about the trip, and I do. I give tips about dressing, not salad dressing, clothes, uh, tours, yeah, all of that, customs and things like that. And we'll also do a call before the trip, just so you know. So, and that's with all of our hosted trips, just so you know, guys. Leading up to the trip, I do like to make sure that you're prepared, and you will get. That's just a little side note. Packing lists, tips, guides. We have a little call and stuff just to make sure that everybody's um, prepared. I don't want us going out, leaving the United States and you not know anything. That's not how we do at the Travel Crew. So, good. Thank you, Mary. That was a good question. All right, so I'm gonna get off my soapbox again because I finished with mind your manners in restaurants. The next one, tip 7, dress appropriately, and I like keep adjusting my top. That's true. Okay, whatever. Dress appropriately. You need to know how to properly dress with where you're going and visiting. Some uh, buildings, especially religious-based buildings, don't want your shoulders exposed, and maybe you need to have a scarf with you. Sometimes you have to have your head covered. Like when I was in Dubai and I went inside a mosque, I had to have something over my head. Um, you're not supposed to have loose. Um, you can't have loose. You're not supposed to have too tight clothing or something that's too revealing and stuff. I will say in Dubai that standards are loosening because it's becoming so westernized, because so many people outside of Dubai, it's a lot of expats there. So many people are coming into Dubai from other countries and setting up shop there, as well as so many people visit that the shock of Western customs is kind of weaned and stuff. But I still would say, I'd be weary of like having your butt cheeks hang out of a pair of shorts or something like that. You will see ladies in heels and skirts and stuff like that. That's a big thing. Like ladies' night and clubs and stuff in Dubai is a big deal and stuff. But that's Dubai. When you get to Abu Dhabi, which is another emirate near Dubai, that's not that attire. But you needed to know that. And that's what I'm saying. Know where you're going and what is expected and stuff, and go accordingly. And it's not just Dubai, it's anywhere you visit. You never know what the custom may be for dress when you enter a certain building. So always a good thing to know. Okay. Ooh, still more people. Thank you guys for tuning in. And to those who may have tuned in late, we've been going through travel etiquette tips. And the next one, which is actually the last one on my list, is to never ever litter. This doesn't even need to be while you travel. You just shouldn't be littering anywhere. I don't know why everybody throws litter. I don't get it. It just makes the place look nasty. I don't get it. But anyway, be mindful of that. Also, like I said, it could be considered very disrespectful. It could also get you a fine or something like that. You don't know. Why run that risk? Why would anybody want to encounter police while you're in another country? Like I said, you don't have the same inalienable rights when you're in another country. So be respectful of that. Um, I was when I was in Dubai, I pulled something out of my purse and like a little receipt fell out my bag, and I went taking off after. I don't even know if it's a rule. I would have gotten fined or anything, and it was totally an accident. But that place was so clean that I was sure that it must be some type of fine associated with it, because it was just so clean, and I just didn't want to add to the litter. So that's just another thing. You want to be respectful of everyone in the place that you're visiting. So those were my tips. I'll recap the list. Number one, learn as much as you can about the place you're traveling to. And that's like read up on the history and the customs and stuff. And besides, that could just be fun info. Two, remember you're a visitor. Remember, drop the American audacity. You just got to let that go. Remember, you are a visitor. Your mama taught you how to act. when you go to somebody's house. Just do that. Number three, there are rules for a reason. Learn them. Um, I didn't mention this when I was saying this earlier, but look at signs. Also, when you're there, sometimes signs will help you with knowing the rules and stuff. And that might be something like "Don't ride your bike here" or something like that. Next tip was learn some of the language and lingo. That's learn the greetings, learn thank you, please, whether when to shake a hand or not to shake a hand, who greets by kissing, that kind of thing. Make yourself familiar with that. Number five, being mindful when taking selfies. You never know if the place may allow you to take a selfie. You don't know if it's disrespectful to have people in your pictures because we don't care if we take a selfie and somebody's in there. It just happens. That may not be cool with where you're visiting. So just find out what the customer is there and be mindful of it. Six, mind your manners in restaurants. Like I said, ranch dressing is not global. And be cautious. Don't disrespect other people's food and stuff because it's different from yours. And if you need some seasoning, Mary has let us know that Tony Chachere's makes packets. So, find you something, put it in your bag. Do like Beyonce, have hot sauce in your bag swag. Well, actually, no, because I don't know if the hot sauce is going to make it to the other country. But anyway, I'm just saying, be mindful of that. Just be respectful of other people's culture. If you don't like the food, you don't have to like it, but you don't have to make a big about it. Um, Next, I said dress appropriately. Just like I said, be cautious. You may have to cover your head, you may have to cover your shoulders, something loose. Just know where you're going and know what you need to wear. And the next one is never ever litter. Just to wrap it up, I guess it's just be a nice human being and be the best travelista you can be. You know what? This wasn't on the list, but I did just think of something. And this does have to go back to I guess remember you're a visitor. It kind of just ties in. It doesn't matter. When you're out and about, watch how you're talking as well. I should have put that on the list. That means um, cursing. You don't know that you just like you would people curse, but they used now it seems like nobody cares who they curse around. But you used to find people who didn't curse in front of an older person or something like that because it was considered a sign of disrespect. You don't know where you're going, where that may be considered a sign of disrespect or it might be illegal. I don't know. I'm just saying, be mindful of that. Also, be mindful of the volume of your voice. Um, I was in Italy and somebody was like just showing out, went not in a bad way, but just was like trying to stunt because they had bought some shoes in Italy, and everybody in the pavilion looked at this dude like he was crazy. But he was just being loud and boisterous, and it was kind of embarrassing because you never know in that particular setting, and there were museums around there and stuff like that. You didn't need to be loud and stuff. And that's what I'm saying. Just be mindful of where you are because you don't know if you're disrespecting a setting where it needs to be quiet. So be mindful of the language you use, be mindful of the tone of voice you use, that kind of thing. So that was just an extra bonus. So um if you have any questions or comments about what I just talked about with travel tips. And even if you don't agree with me, I'd love to hear it. Just put it in the section. But while y'all do that, and thank you always for tuning in, I did mention at the beginning of this video that I had a little extra news to mention. Um, I got so the trip to London to see the Saints technically ended. Um, I closed it off, and that meant like all payments were in and stuff, and sent off today. But I had so many people calling like recently over the weekend and stuff, asking to get in this trip, and was it too late and stuff. And so I actually talked to my people in England, in Europe, getting everything together, and I am able to extend the trip. So if you were trying to go with us to London to the Saints game. I have been able to extend it, but it is only extended till July 26th. No, July 27th. I can't get it extended past that. So today is the 14th, so you have 13 days. If you were trying to go to London to see the Saints, now's your time to jump on it. You don't have to think about it anymore. You need to just come on and go. I did go ahead and ask for the extension because some of y'all have been calling and texting and like, is it too late? Is it too late? Is it too late? So I went ahead and I got that extension for you. So go ahead, go on and book. Let me go ahead and show you the link to those that need it. There it is right there, the travelcrew.com/Saints UK. If you were trying to go ahead. That's the link you need to go to book the trip. You can also pass it on to your friends. This you should know that this trip has two packages. There is a 6-night package and a 4-night package. So it's a black and gold package. The black package is the shorter package, and the gold package is the longer package. So if both are going to incorporate touring to London, but the gold package gives you more sites with London. The black package, not as much touring, but you still get some free time to go explore on your own. So I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. So just let you know. So that was the surprise for the evening, is that I was able to get some more time to extend on the trip. So if that's what you want to do, if you want to be in that number, you want to go see the black and gold in London, across the pond and stuff, come on, let's go. I'm looking to have a good time. All right, guys. So I don't see any more questions in the comment section. That's all good. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the comments that you made. Uh, thank you for the tip, Mary, and everything. I appreciate you guys tuning in every week. It means a lot to me. So I want to wish you a happy Thursday evening. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay dry, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.